Oh, man. Hi, welcome to the Performance Show. I'm laughing at Como, folks.
Yeah.
Brandon.
While Como laughs at you.
Yeah. That's what my daddy used to say. If you can't laugh at me laughing at you. I think that's what we got that with my program. I came up with a new word. I can't use it on the air.
Came up with
Brandon
a new insult. No, you can't use that one on the air, Moon.
Yeah, but who was I talking about? Think about it. I was talking to Bernie.
Yeah.
I was talking about me.
Yeah.
You got to admit, I was talking about me on this.
Yeah, then you put that towards somebody else, too.
Oh,
because you ran out of insults for that man yesterday. Call.
I couldn't think of nothing else.
Oh, man.
I would have been glad to call him something else. I mean, just such a weasel. Anyway, I didn't say that yesterday. All right, 844-766-07. Hickson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. We do have a little Louisiana news, very little, but some. By the way, if you want to know what's happening in the session, not a whole lot. We will have a big-time expansion of gambling. You can always tell what people were doing when you listen to them. And everything and Brandon, they hadn't voted on all the gambling, but the committee that passed everything.
It's coming up today, I believe, as a matter of fact.
But the thing about it is, everybody in the committee that sold, this is a state that says, a constitution says suppress gambling. We've had gambling before, it went away and came back. And it says suppress gambling at every turn, so we named it gaming. So I'm just laughing because everybody that has gone to the committee and spoke on behalf of gaming, because remember, we can't have gambling here. Every one of them, first thing out of their mouth, this is not expansion of gambling. This is not expansion of gambling. This is not expansion of gambling. I just laugh. The whole time they expanding gambling. The whole time they're making it bigger and better, and they telling people how it's going to bring in more tax revenue, but it's not an expansion. Harris, they're going to invest $350 million. No expansion, though. It's just, I got to laugh, folks. I got to laugh. And look, if you're pro-gambling, that's fine. I'm not talking. I'm just saying it's funny how we can't really be who we are. We have to fake it. It's like the news media. It's fake news. Greatest coin phrase there ever was. Fake news, because it's fake news. They take the sides they want. They don't report what they need to report. They report what they want to report. They take sides. Example, national press. Love the insane Barack Obama. The guy has hurt us and set us back. Hate Trump every day. Love Obama every day. You got to set us back, and I'm watching it happen. Mexico, there's a big caravan coming with illegals, and they saying they have a right to seek asylum, and they're going to seek it in Mexico or here, but they're really coming here. And that was one of the worst things Barack did. He allowed all these people to come in and get all these freebies and then try to build it up so they'll have a voting block and new people to take care of. And you don't believe this happened. Now, listen, I know you people say, well, you picking on minority. No, I'm not. Listen to this story. And it just hit me. This goes, anytime you're taking money and people on the government dole, they demand more and more. And you got a group of politicians, Democrats mostly, but Republicans are starting. They want us. Republicans know. Elected officials know, especially in Washington. Some of them in Baton Rouge, they know if they stick around the trough enough, they're going to get a lot for themselves and their family members. Now, let me give you an example. It's an Associated Press story. State capitol in Kentucky filled with teachers protesting pension changes. You can't change anything. Once people get locked into the government funding for whatever they're doing for a living, the only change they'll take is if they have more money coming in. So what happens is, the article goes on to say, and thousands of Oklahoma educators walked out of the classrooms in the latest evidence of teacher rebellion in some Republican-led states. So we elect these people for less taxes and less government, but the people who collect their paychecks from government demanding more. Yet that means that me and you have to make less. Somebody has to pay the bill. Government doesn't produce anything. They don't produce anything, any revenue. So here we have, when the Republicans are winning and winning big, they end up losing because they start trying to be the ones that try to be conservative and try to cut back and say government needs to cut back. They're not going to cut back. And so they start demanding more. Example, we got, and I say this again, in the state of Louisiana, the best retirement system to be on in the state of Louisiana, public and private, is the state retirement system. It's the best. It is unbelievably better than anything you got in the public sector. You're not even close to what they have. That's fine. It's set up. Should they get the money? Absolutely. They should get everything they were promised. So don't call here if you're a state worker. I got family members that are state retired workers and all that stuff like everybody else. They got what they were told they can get, and everybody in the retirement system ought to get the same thing. But we can't afford it. No, that don't matter. So what happens is the people, and I said this all along, the people that are going to be demanding, are the people getting a check from the government. I don't care if you're a middle class, rich worker, retirement person, or somebody that gets the freebies that are poor. People don't like, when you're honest, you consider controversy. And you're really not controversial, just being honest. Yeah, just being blunt. So let me give you an example. Oklahoma schools closed Monday and the state shut into Tuesday. Oklahoma's governor signed legislation last week granting teachers a pay raise of $6,100. Okay, $6,100. Okay, they are upset because they wanted $10,000 more a year. They got $6,100. Some educations haven't been pay increase in 10 years. Say this isn't enough and walked out. The state's largest teacher union wanted $10,000 for educators over 3 years, $5,000 for support personnel, and a $75 million increase in funding this year. One teacher said that she had to have a second job to make it. Now, folks, I know many, many, many moons ago, it seemed like our taxes were equivalent to who we were in the United States of America and in Louisiana, in your area. Now, nothing is enough. Nothing's enough. Average teacher pay 49th in the country in Oklahoma. $45,276. If you're married to teachers, that's over $90,000. We're going to, one day government is going to run out. One day government is going to run out of money from the private sector where they can't spend anymore. We're not going to have enough. We're not going to have enough. Then what are we going to do? I'm watching. It's not just happening in our state, but in other states too. Government has gotten to be a place where people go when they either want to get rich, get more money. We got so many people wanting, and that's why you got Julie Stokes and Jay Dardens and, yes, Mark Abrahams of the world. Republicans in name only who really want to be like the left. So it's very frustrating to watch. And I'm watching it every day. That's why Republicans, once they win, they can't do their jobs, because when they try to go do their jobs, at least the conservative ones, there's going to be a group of people that are offended and so upset. So upset. And then they vote those people out. One day we're going to run out of our money, folks. One day the people in government, local, state, and federal, are going to run out of our money. Then what are we going to do? Because it doesn't ever stop. There are a lot of people make a lot of money off of government that are in the private sector. Fat cats. They get people elected and they become filthy rich. And it's all frustrating when I watch it over and over again. I go, why don't we win elections and then we lose when we get there? Because that's why. Everybody getting money, nursing homes, whatever, from government. They just don't want their pie touched. And it can't work that way. It never can work that way. I tell you what, I'll go as hard as this. Tops, people that get top scholarships. What are you doing? You're panicking. Why? Because you're getting something. And if they take it away from you, Bill Edwards and Jay Darden, the co-governors, they know it's going to upset you. They know you're going to be for giving them more of your money so you can get something. That we've kind of all, not everybody, but most people have gotten in that mode. So government is trying to be the hero to everybody. A total hero. And so when somebody wants to do the right thing by slowing government down and cutting back on spending, you can't. You can't. And that's what's going on all over the country. When I watch Oklahoma and Kentucky, they want to change the pension funds. Don't you touch my retirement. Well, we can't afford it. I don't care. Okay? Don't you. That's not enough in pay raises. Nothing's enough. They're going to run out of our money, folks. And when they do, what do we do then? Got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Take a break. Be right back. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program. Is anybody looking to have fun on a cruise? Megan Sonia joins us with us. TravelMachine.net. We're going on a cruise July 13th through the 20th. We want you to come be a part of it, and it is going to be a fun cruise. We've got hundreds of people already going, and we want you to come be a part of it.
We do. We have great deals on airfare. Our Shreveport Monroe people, right now we have airfare for around $300 with access to y'all. We're going to be going to Alaska in July. This is the best time for whale watching year round, hands down.
By the way, it's the best time to go there too. I remember calling my mama 4th of July the last time I went. I said, how hot are you? She said, oh, it's 94 already. I said, God, Mom, it's about 42 here, and I'm wearing a jacket.
That's it. Hey, it's sunny and 65 during the day, though.
That's right. This was early in the morning, like at daybreak. It was really nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But the scenery itself is eye-popping.
That's it. Whales. You can go fishing, bears. We have a special excursion that's going to take the train up to the glaciers.
By the way, we did that last time I went. That was really good. Got to take the kids. I caught a salmon about 6 pounds or so. And that was a lot of fun, so I got to do, because all kind of excursions. But talk about it's the inner passage. You're not really going way out. You're stopping somewhere every day, basically.
Every day you're going to be somewhere. You have sights the entire time. We're going on the inside passage, so we're not going to be going out there. We're going to stay in calm waters where you can see the bears eating from the boat. It's going to be beautiful. You can sit out on your balcony and never leave if you want to.
I'll tell you what, when I took the fishing trip, I'm telling you, the eagles have to be 3 feet tall. I've never seen, I didn't realize an eagle was that big. You know, we see them here, but I'm telling you, it looked like it was 3 feet tall. But it had about a 6-pound salmon he was eating on. So you can't mess with them. So you're just looking at it. You just basically, I don't know, 20 yards away.
And they're used to you.
And it would look up at you and go back to eat.
Like the squirrels at UL.
That's right. Talk about the places we're going to go.
It's going to be beautiful. We're going out of Seattle, round trip. We're going to go to Ketchikan. We're going to go to Tracy Orme Fjord, Juneau, Skagway, and we're going to also go to Victoria, British Columbia. If you are into gardens, they have the most beautiful flowers here. We have plenty of ladies who come and they do a special excursion to the gardens.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And by the way, the great thing is once we leave the first day, we are basically, I call it a port, but we're one of these places every single day.
You're at a moving hotel.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It was more like a moving hotel. You have it, you stop, you can leave early in the morning and stay out there, enjoy yourself all day. You don't have to leave the boat. And, of course, the food is great, and you can get that just about all day at 24 hours, really.
24 hours. We also have beverage packages included, and we're talking top shelf liquor. We also have internet packages that you can get right now included with your balcony cruise, because we all know that you want to brag on Facebook. Now you don't have to wait. You can get it all from right there.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's going to be really neat. All right. How do people get in touch with you to book?
Call Travel Machine at 337-981-7870.
They can go to travelmachine.net. They can go to KPEL website. They can go to my Facebook, Moon Griffon. There's a lot of places to get in touch with y'all.
Yes, there is. Get on. We have a few cabins left.
Okay. There it is, folks. And make sure you happen. Megan, thank you, darling.
Thank you.
It'll be a great trip. I hope you get a chance to come with us as well. Oh, man. Y'all all welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607, Hickson has a hotline. So, now, for people that are working for government going, Griffon, don't get mad at me. You got a job, go do your job. You got your retirement, go get your retirement. My question is, when all this stuff cannot be funded anymore, who you think's going to be cut? You eventually going to be cut too. And I mean cut out. When government realizes, we didn't spend everybody's money. We spent Brandon and his wife's money and Brandon and his wife's kids who are not even here yet's money and all the grandbabies who are not here. We wait till it's too late to fix the problem. So we got real Republicans, and then we got the Julie Stokes and the Mark Abrahams. How you doing, Miss Abraham? Good to see you. Let me give you an example. Let me tell you what games have been playing. Now, Scott McKay at a hayride, I think it was McKay at the Charles Keenan. Charles Keenan wrote a piece at the hayride. The fixes in are John Bell Edwards and Republican moderates conspiring to defund tops in the regular session. Here's the plan without reading the whole thing. Okay? John Bell Edwards has the Democrats, but he has Republicans too. Well, he's got Jay Darden. I mean, that's a typical leftist Republican who's got an R behind his name only so he can win, even though he got toe up as governor, but he gets to play governor. So what they did was he's combining with the leftist Democrats and the leftist Republicans. We know their names now. Rob Shadwan Rustin. Shadwan. I ain't raising taxes, Brandon, but I'm going to raise the hell out of your taxes. Julie Nancy Pelosi Stokes. Steve Pilot of Winsboro. Tanner McGee of Homer. Z Zarang of Homer. Mark the leftist Lake Charles, who hates conservatives. He hates conservatives more than I don't know what he hates more, but I know he hates conservatives because he told me. He hates them. Miss Abraham, how you doing? Larry Bagley of Shreveport. Steve Carter of Baton Rouge. Paula Davis of Baton Rouge. Stephen Dwight of Lake Charles. And let's get some jobs in here. Bubba Cheney of Rayville, who don't have a clue. This is part of the centrist caucus. We now know the Republicans that are on it. Here's the plan, folks, according to this story. They're going to defund tops in the budget that they're going to put out now. And here's the game. The game is you people that are listening to this program, that you vote Republican, you're going to call these Republican legislators and tell them you want your tops. You don't care how much taxes they got to raise. You better raise the money. And then the governor comes back in a special session, and he gets all the Democrats and these nice, moderate, Jay Darden Republicans to vote for more taxes. That's what we're looking at. That's the plan. It's always been the plan. They want higher taxes. They think you got too much money in your pocket. They think the average person has too much money. They don't care what you got to cut. They don't care about your budget. They don't care if you got a special need child. They don't care if your business is on the brink. They don't care if you take home less money. All they want is more taxes. And the way to do it, and this is a plan that could backfire on them. I think it could backfire. The way to do it is to get rid of tops in the regular session so you would have to vote for new taxes because the people that have tops are going to demand it that we raise taxes. You see these little hooks? Just like Obamacare, okay? Demand that you give somebody health care. Demand it. Some of it free. Same thing with this. They hook in the middle class. The guy even talks about the middle class and how the middle class has been helped by tops. Now, I'll say it again. I don't care if mine could get it or not. I could care less. I hate for things to be political football. Bell Edwards and them are making this political football, and Jay Darden, because they need Republicans. They need more wimps like Mark Abraham. I said wimp, Miss Abraham. That's your husband. Mark. I'm talking about a solid wimp. And all these Republicans, Julie Stokes and Nancy Pelosi, there's no difference. Tell Julie Stokes, who's probably going to run for Shedler's seat next year, tell her to run as a Democrat. She's not, but she wants to govern as a Democrat. So Republicans get their hands tied because they want to stay in office. They want to stay in office. It's more important for them to be in office than to do the right thing. And they're worried about being beat up by the press because we have a press corps that has the same agenda as John Bel Edwards and Jay Darden and the liberal Democrats and our liberal Republicans. That's what's taking place, folks. And I'm glad this gentleman, Mr. Keenan, has brought out the fix. That's why they're using tops. And you got little old Abraham. Abraham wants to be a leftist Democrat, and so does Julie Stokes. They just can't win. Mark Abraham, Rob Shadron, they ought to run as Democrats. All these ones that I mentioned should run as a Democrat. Bubba Cheney's been a Democrat all his life. These people are to the left because the few Republicans we got left that are willing to take a stand are going to be pounded in the special session because the special session is about raising taxes. Raising taxes, y'all, he's not on there. I'm glad. Good for him. This is what we're fighting. That's what I brought up when I bring up Oklahoma and Kentucky. They're fighting the same thing. Bel Edwards and Jay Darden, they're smart. They really are smart aleck. But what they're doing is they'll tell you how great they are, and they'll write stories. I mean, Lanny Keller's so in love with Jay Darden, it's not even funny. Jim Beam in love with them. And so what they'll do, whatever they tell them, it's the truth. They're automatically the truth. And so this is what we're fighting in Baton Rouge and all over the country and nationally and your local government as well. So, Brandon, I saw one yesterday. It's probably still sitting over there. I can't see it. It was a newspaper article out of Advertiser. And I had stuck it back on it. Somebody might have got it. But what it talked about was that the local government has cut all they can cut. We cut all we can cut. So guess what, folks? You and me, the rich people, we're going to pay a little more. And a little more, and a little more. A little more to the state, a little more to the local government, a little more to the federal government. And hey, it's going to help us prosper. I didn't realize this, and I don't know Common Core math, and this don't seem right what I'm getting ready to tell you. You realize if you listen to Bel Edwards and Jay Darden, you listen to Nancy Pelosi, or you listen to Joe Robideau, that if me and you are willing to give up more of our income to them, we're going to prosper. If we're willing to have less take-home pay, we are going to be better for it. And I don't know how that works. I'm trying to figure out, let's see, if I can make $5,000 take-home pay less next year to give to them, I'm going to be better. And before somebody tells me they're not asking for $5,000, just start adding everything they're asking for. If you don't own your own business and a little small company like me, I don't want to hear that. You got straight deductions and stuff like that. You know, you got the company, you got big business and businesses paying half of your FICA. I have to pay it all. That's an extra 7.5%. So it's just amazing. But this is what the plan is. It's no doubt. If you see them say we cut tops out the budget, that is for people to trip out on the Republicans who don't want to keep voting for more taxes. By the way, there was a roll call vote, okay? Amendment 4374 in House Bill 1 put forth by Katrina Jackson in 2016 to defund tops for rural hospitals. I got the vote right here. I'll let you know about that when we get back. Interesting. All right, we got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Come back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Can you imagine wanting to be a centrist caucus? A centrist caucus. Bubba Cheney, Stephen Dwight, Paula Davis, Steve Carter, Larry Bagley, Mark, I Hate Conservatives, Abraham, Z. Zarang, Tanner McGee, Steve Pilot, Julie Stokes, and Raising Taxes, Rob Shadron. Centrist caucus. They're going to bring us to new heights. And all that means, you know what a centrist Republican is? That means I'm really a liberal, I'm really a Democrat, but I got to stay a Republican in name only to win. That's what a centrist caucus is. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be. And it's not going to ever change. That's who they are. They just don't want to be called a Democrat. By the way, now it's $96,000 that the governor had to pay for the guy that did the sexual harassment. So that's $96,000 for sexual harassment out of the governor's office. $96,000. Wow. A lot of money. And thank God he's honor code. If he wasn't honor code, we'd really be concerned. But anyway, there's your centrist caucus Republicans. Boy, just real men and women. Real men and women fighting for the state of Louisiana. It's pitiful. By the way, there's also an article Elizabeth Crisp wrote a piece. House Republicans embrace new communication strategy aimed at tense relationship with the governor. What you're seeing happen is we saw Lance Harris and them with the Republican caucus, the real Republicans. They were there, and he put out something on, what was it, Facebook, Brandon? Facebook, Twitter, whatever, social media. And so did Blake Miguez. Remember, he put out a deal with guns. Well, they do an article on it, how Republicans embrace new communication strategy. Well, you got to understand. I'm glad they're doing it, by the way. I mean, I've given them a voice here. What I would explain to Elizabeth Crisp is that the media, much like Washington-style media, which I believe Washington-style media has come here, not Washington-style politics. Washington-style media, the way they cover things is here now. They taken side with the governor and Jay Darden, and they're gonna stick with that. Well, by the way, if I didn't mention, Ann Coulter will join us at 10:45. There's an event this week in New Orleans, so we'll have Ann Coulter to talk about the event at 10, coming out of 10:45 break. So we'll visit with Ann Coulter. That is at 10:45 today. But anyway, so what's happened is they're writing articles saying what the Republicans are doing. Trump had to do that. He had to go around the Washington media and the national media, still does. They hate it when he did tweeting. They hate it when he went around him. And so the Republicans in the state of Louisiana basically have to do everything. Think about it. Who covers this? Well, they got one writer from Gwinnett, Greg Hillman. Although I don't know if he knows which state he's in, he covers it. Jim Beam, both of them. Very, very pro-Edwards, pro-Darden. It doesn't matter what Republicans do. That guy has been covering this stuff, and he has drifted to the left every day. And then you got their advocate, Tyler Bridges, Elizabeth Crisp. They're always pro-Edwards. The Times-Picayune's pro-Edwards. Other than that, nobody covers this, folks. Those are the people covering it, and they only cover it from their side. So what happened is Republicans, and I think this is smart, they start putting stuff on YouTube like Lance Harrison, we played it. He put out a deal saying that there's not $1 billion deficit, and it's not $1 billion deficit. Not even close. And so they put it out there to let people know. Blake Miguez, Representative Miguez, put out a deal because there's 9 or 11 bills to pop the Second Amendment. As you know, Karen Carter Peterson, Senator Peterson, has come out. She's the head of the Democrat Party, the one that Bill Edwards is in. And she wants to get rid of the Second Amendment. And, of course, the Democrat Party is scrambling saying that's not true. She shouldn't have said that. We don't want to get rid of the Second Amendment. But they really do deep down. When the Supreme Court Justice Stevens said we need to get rid of the Second Amendment, they're telling you way more than they used to. Used to, they just outright lied. They're still lying. But now you're getting some truths out of them, what they really want to do. You think about Barack Obama, we would have a single-payer system overnight. They would raise taxes overnight. They'd raise regulations overnight. We'd have global warming and all that crazy, nutted up stuff that eventually we probably going to adopt all that craziness. And then we're going to all of a sudden give up on all. We're going to be paying our utility bills. Are going to be out the Wawa. And if they got everything they wanted us to do and everything we wanted to get, I mean, just go read the crazy Looney Tune ideas of the left. They really want that, but they can't say it when they run for elections. Just like these centrist Republicans, they want to be Democrat. They're Democrat at heart. They just can't come out and do that because they can't win in their district as a Democrat, but they're Democrat at heart. Can you imagine being a centrist? What do you stand for wherever the wind blows? Oh, the wind's blowing out the east. I'm out the east today. The wind's blowing out the northwest. I'm northwest today. That's what a centrist is. They're not going to stand for anything. They're going to stand for everything. They're going to stand for everything depending on what the people want them to stand for at the time. And that's what these Mark Abrahams, Rob Shadwan, them are all about. Julie Stokes trying to shove her down our throat for Shedler's seat, which is the Secretary of State. They're going to shove her down your throat, and she's really some kind of leftist Looney Tune. But there she comes, boy. She's going to come a running, and she's going to talk about how she's a conservative. She's a doer and a fixer. And she's really not. She's been one of the ones that have been tied deeply with Darden and John Bell Edwards and the left for a long time. I mean, a long time, folks. So it's amazing to watch. I'm glad they put their name on this centrist calling, because that means they're not going to stand for anything. They don't. They stand for whatever the wind blows. And I'm telling you what, our founders have to be turning over in their graves of what this country is supposed to be versus where they headed at, what direction we're headed. So anyway, the House Republicans are getting out there in the state of Louisiana because they don't get the bully pulpit that the governor has. They don't have a press corps. They don't have all these lawyers working for them. They don't have a communication director. They don't have all that. So Chris kind of take a shot at them doing it, and the bottom line is they have to have a voice. And we're one of the few places they can go and have a voice. Not the only place, but a few places they can go and have a voice. And so we got people running around the state of Louisiana, everybody, and when Bell Edwards and these centrist Republicans cut tops. By the way, and Brandon, I lost it. I had it in front of me too. Dang it. Let me find this again. I meant to read this to you. You know, in 2016, there was a vote. I'll pull up the vote here in just a second. In 2016, there was a vote to get rid of tops. I don't know if y'all knew this or not. And this is the new plan. Okay? The roll call vote, it was Amendment 4374 in House Bill 1, was to defund tops. And all these people I just named voted to get rid of tops, with the exception of Stokes and one other one. Zerain, Mark Abraham. All these people that I just named, Rob Shadwan, they all voted to defund tops. Here's the vote. Amendment 4374 by Jackson, motion to adopt, and only got 49 votes. So it didn't pass, but they voted 49 votes to get rid of it. And all these Republicans voted for it, just about. The ones I just mentioned. Cheney didn't vote for it. So don't tell me that's not the plan. If they come out of there voting down tops, it's to make you people squeal. Absolutely squeal at Republicans to raise taxes. All right, we got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. And that's kind of some stuff going on. Gambling is growing. By the way, lawmakers propose allowing young adults to drink legally after earning certificate. Looks like that's going to roll through. So we can put people younger to drink and make it legal, which is fine. You know, it's fine. That's what we wanted to lower it to 15. Now you're ridiculous, girlfriend. Well, at 15, they don't have a driver's license. They can't drive, can they? It's amazing what we're working on in the state of Louisiana. Expanding gambling. I know it's expanding gambling because everybody that walks up to the microphone says it's not. We're working on getting more younger people to drink. We're paying for sexual harassment in the governor's office. And I'm going to tell you all again, I'm the only one that believes we're going to have a constitutional convention. I'm one of the few that believes the worst thing we can do. The people that are pushing for the constitutional convention more than anybody is lobby. And it's the big business owners. They're pushing for a constitutional convention, and it's all being sold on, well, we got to undedicate some money. Then why do we dedicate it in the first place? And we did dedicate it. We dedicated the fire of it. And I'll tell you what, something else. If we have one, we're not going to dedicate everything. Number two, we're going to dedicate things as soon as the Constitutional Convention is over if it passes the people. I got to see what comes out of it, but I can tell you what I'm hearing is not going to be favorable to the taxpayers and the citizens of the state. It might help some big businesses. And I fight for big businesses. I fight for all of them. But in this case, why are y'all trying to put everything on the back of the people? We don't have a job-creating machine in this state. And the only job-creating machine, the biggest job-creating machine has been the oil and gas industry, and they're trying to put it out of business with lawsuits. That's Bill Edwards and them and his buddies. I'm telling you, you can't go down that Highway 90 without Brandon. I mean, I had to go, not last weekend. What did I go? Oh, I did go Friday. And man, I wish I had a nickel for every lawyer billboard that was up there that I could get every month. I tell you what, I'd be a wealthy man. It's lawsuit heaven. They ought to rename south of Broussard, between Broussard and New Iberia, they ought to name it Lawsuit Heaven or Lawsuit Land or something like that.
Lawsuit Alley.
Lawsuit Alley. I mean, they ought to name them big time. And because that's what we turn to. So the goose that laid a golden egg, $65 a barrel. There was an article yesterday I explained to you that they're saying, well, it's $65 a barrel. We're not picking up jobs yet. But go talk to people in the business and they'll tell you why. So that's what's being worked on down in the session. And the Constitutional Convention, some people tell me there's not enough votes. Some people say there's not going to be enough vote to have a constitutional convention. If lobby's in there, they out there buying votes from pro-business people saying they want it. In theory, it sounds like a great idea. I just remember the late C.B. Ferguson. Man, we don't ever need that. You never need the constitutional convention. What we've done with the 189 amendments is we've changed it. And we've dedicated money. And dedicated money, and supplemental pay, and everything that's put in the Constitution that should have never been in there. How are you going to tell an average person on the street when they say, this constitutional amendment gives money to, boom, law enforcement? You're going to say, well, I'm all for helping law enforcement. I'm for helping the poor. I'm for helping this group. I'm for helping that group. But if we can't afford it up the road, how good was it? You know, folks, I would like to buy a Ranger bass boat. Brandon, I priced them out the other day. The best ones started about $65,000 or $70,000. Brandon, you know what I determined? I'm never going to be fishing in a Ranger boat. I had to live with that. Okay, I had to make that decision. I'm not willing to pay a $500 or $600 note to buy a boat. I'm not. So I had to live with that. And that's something I can't ever have. Well, it's kind of like that in the state constitution. It's kind of like that when it comes to money. Sometimes we can't afford to do certain things. And we just can't do it. You don't just force it and do it. You can't just force things and do it because you want to do it. It doesn't work that way in the real world. But yet we find ourselves doing this all the time. By the way, I don't know if y'all saw this or not. Scott McKay, Louisiana signed up more people in Medicaid expansion than California did. California Medicaid expansion enrolled hundreds of thousands of ineligible people, the federal report finds. And we signed up more than anybody. So we continue to go down the wrong path, make bad decisions, and then we want to reward these people. We want to keep rewarding government for the bad decisions they make. Who does that? You reward your kid for a bad decision they made? But we reward the government because they always have an angle on us. Always have an angle on us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. All right. I wanted to get into something else. I got several things. Y'all saw when Mexico says it would disband the caravan, but organizers say some of its members will continue north. The caravan of people, illegals coming to the United States of America. They're saying they have a right to come here to seek asylum. That's right. Big vans of illegals coming. And yet, I don't know if we're going to stop them. Donald Trump is really wanting to stop this, but nobody else does. He really wants to stop this. Organizer of U.S.-bound immigration caravan accused Trump of bullying, threats of mass violence. Organization behind the 1,000-person-strong caravan of Central Americans surging toward the United States southern border accused Trump of bullying immigrants and threatening mass violence. Now, here's people that claim they want to come in our country, and they're threatening mass violence. These are the type people that we want coming in our country, right? They're threatening violence. I mean, they're not even here yet, and they're threatening violence. Should we let them in here? I mean, it's hard to believe that. They're going to just caravan them in here. All for the benefits they have. I thought Mexico was so good. Why don't if these people ever tried to humble and modest and loving Muslim countries, I wonder why they don't go to the loving and modest Muslim countries. How come we got people in Muslim countries coming over here, and there's so many beautiful, loving Muslim countries out there for them to go to? And these people from Central America, why don't they? Surely their way of lives are pure socialism and Marxism. Some reason it's not working well. And they sure not. Some of these people, and a lot of them, are not coming here so they can be Americans. They're hearing about the freebies. Let's go to the phone lines. 844-766-6607. Doc in Shreveport. How you doing, Doc?
Hey, Moon, I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Doing fine, sir. Good to hear from you.
I've got two questions and a statement. One of them, whenever they were talking about this convention of states, it was kind of sold to me as a way that we could get a lot of these politicians out that had been rooted in there. You just can't seem to get rid of, term limits and stuff like that. And that's what I'd be interested in, And the other thing is, whenever you're talking about dedicated funds, a lot of those funds, those taxes, were passed because they said, if you'll pay the tax, we will spend this money on this project.
Well, hold up, though.
Dedication, it just they spend it where they want to.
Okay, it's two things. The convention of the states and things you're talking about, that's to do with the federal government. That has nothing to do with the Constitutional Convention I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about is the one, and I'm glad you brought that up because it's been confusing. The one I'm talking about, when I talk about a Constitutional Convention, I'm talking about the one they want to do in Louisiana. They want to have one in Louisiana, but
the Louisiana Convention.
Correct. And what they want to do is they want to change the 2/3 vote that it takes to raise taxes and fees to a majority vote. That is the goal for the politicians. Okay. Now, on the flip side,
thank you for clearing that up.
No, on the flip side, the dedicated money you're talking about is on the state side.
Yeah.
We dedicated the money. All these constitutional amendments, all these dedications were dedicated because people would have never passed it if it didn't go to something. But yet they're telling us that's the problem. So they created the problem, and now they're going to try to fix the problem. And I'm telling you, if they get into a constitutional convention in Louisiana, they're not going to fix the problem. They're going to cause hell on the average person. And that's what I really believe is coming.
Well, then why did they say that gambling in Louisiana is illegal, but gaming is legal?
Because
then they outlawed game fighting.
Okay, I know. I agree with you. Look, we crazy. We change the rules all the time. Gambling is illegal by the Constitution. Well, gambling's illegal according to the Constitution. So what happened was the legislature defined gaming not being gambling. They defined gaming as something else. So when they went to the Supreme Court said, well, the legislature defined gaming as something different than gambling, and so they said it's okay. Now you and me know these 1-800 numbers on gambling. If you have a gambling problem, well, how can we have a gambling problem when we don't have gambling?
Yeah, well, it's like gaming to me is gamecock fighting. They said that was illegal because people were betting on it.
Yep. Well, they were. I think
that's gaming to me.
Well, I know, but that was that was people more concerned about the cruelty with the animals than it was with the gaming or the gambling or whatever you call it. But anyway, that's pretty much what's going on. Remember, when I talk about Constitutional Convention, I'm talking about in the state of Louisiana, and I'll try to be more clear next time. But thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. We got to go. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Your comments are welcome. Hello, welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to hear you. Great to hear you. 844-766-6607. By the way, Brandon, I don't know if you got this across your dear. Auto rates, second highest in the country. .com of Insurance just approved 25% rate hike in February. Commission of Insurance just approved a 25% rate hike in February. They say trial lawyers have a lot to do. By the way, Brandon, every day on TV, there's nothing but trial lawyers advertising. If you've been hurt in an accident, That's all we hear. Oh, man. Second highest in the country. Highest sales tax in the country. I don't know. And they want to take more out your pocket. Not that insurance is not doing that, right, folks? Unbelievable. All right, let's go. Brandon, this is an order. I'll take it. Huh? The one at the top? Okay. Guy in Texas. How you doing, Guy?
I'm doing very well, Moon. I really enjoy listening to your program. But, I live over here in Texas, got relatives in Louisiana, and I just shake my head when I hear y'all talking about your economic problems. But you were talking a minute ago about your boat and being in the real world. You looked at it, thought it was you'd like it, but in the real world, you can't afford it. But the government doesn't live in the real world, not the state and not the federal. They just passed that omnibus, $1.5 trillion that we cannot afford, yet they don't live in the real world. Those legislators do, but when they sit in the desk, they seem to go to Never Never Land. Yeah. And the wish list becomes the list.
By the way, I had a buddy of mine you'll find to get a kick out of this. He said he's getting ready to sell his Ranger, and I know him, and he's got a good range. He keeps it up to date. He said he'd give it to me for $35,000. That's still out of my range. That's out of my range. It may not be out of yours or Brandon's or somebody else, but it's out of mine. My point being is, and you just made the point, they pass things, goody two-shoes, they like their job. Look, wouldn't want a job all you got to do is talk. Trust me, it's kind of nice. I'm just saying, who wouldn't want a job that you're in a powerful position, all you do is talk and meet? I mean, everybody would want that job. But let me tell you something, they benefit from it on the backside. Not every one of them, but a lot of them benefit on the backside. And I think you make a great point. They don't live in the real world. We do. But let me ask a question. I'm looking at what the federal government's doing. I'm looking at what state government's trying to do. How in the world am I ever going to get ahead if inflation kicks in? How does anybody going to get ahead if all you're going to do is take from them? And that's what's going on right now. It is a confiscation of wealth going on from the local, state, and federal government like I've never seen. If Donald Trump gave us a tax cut, I was thankful for Trump to give us one.
It just made more money available for them to take out of our back pocket. They're never going to let you keep your money.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
thank you, Moon. I appreciate your show so much.
Well, we appreciate the folks in Texas, man. We love to hear from y'all. I know we got a lot of people in that area to listen. We appreciate it. All right, let's go to Houghton, Louisiana. Go to Dale. Dale, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine, and thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to give a plug for Senator Tom Coburn from Oklahoma, former senator, and you may know who he is and what he did. He had a nickname, Dr. No, when it came to spending, and he self-imposed term limits. I think he served 3 terms in the House, and he said that's all he was going to do, and then he served in the Senate, that they elected him to the Senate. He put out a book called The Debt Bomb, D-E-B-T.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. By the way, I didn't read it, but I'm familiar with it.
Oh, okay, because you can get it in the libraries, and I think it's a pretty good read.
No, I have not read it, but I heard about it. I have heard about it, and I've just not read it. And I've read bits and pieces. You know how they do excerpts and all that stuff? I swore I was going to buy that book, and I just didn't. So, anyway, listen, Dale, appreciate the pub, buddy. All right, we got to take a break. When we get back, Don in Shreveport, we'll start with you. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show, folks. Your opportunity to be a voice. They're rating everything. We'll be right back. Brand. Phone show, great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline, folks. If you'd like to be part of the program, it is your opportunity to be a voice. By the way, I do want to mention before we go to the phone lines, my good friend Captain Norman is catching speckled trout and redfish. Shrimp are in. And so, folks, if you want to go on a great trip, you need to at least call him. You can get the rates and all that stuff. But if you'd like to catch speckled trout and redfish and goes in Hackberry, Captain Norman's your guy. ASPECCharters.com, ASPECCharters.com, or call 337-884-0656. 337-884-0656. I run into people all the time that have used Captain Norman from the program, and he's very appreciative of it. But they always talk about the great experience they had with Captain Norman. Trust me, it's a lot of fun to go with him. If you don't know how to fish, he's going to take care of you. And you're a really good fisherman, get out there and do like I do. I walk on the front of the boat with him. I don't let him get an advantage on me. And there's not a whole lot he can tell me. I'm the customer. Anyway, Captain Norman, A-Spec Charters, 337-884-0656. And he's catching them, so you better be booking for April and May. All righty. Phone lines. Don in Shreveport. How you doing, Mr. Don?
Moon, how are you? You know, speaking of trips, aren't you getting ready to go to Alaska?
North to Alaska, brother. I'm looking forward to it.
You going to be in town tonight promoting that?
No, but I'll talk to you about that later. Okay. Don, what did you want to talk about?
You know, they talk about gaming, which is just a politically correct word for gambling, and that they don't want to really expand it. But it seems to me they need to expand it just to play catch-up with Oklahoma. What they don't, people may not realize it, that Oklahoma has some super nice casinos. I mean, big ones. And they have big acts come in, really big acts, class acts. Whereas in the Shreveport-Bossier area, we have not as good of acts come in. They're limited by the size of the casino. They're limited by their arena size, and they can do only so much because they have shackles on them. So I'd like to see the legislature pass almost a no hands barred deal to where they can grow. I mean, how many businesses do you invite to your state, and then you limit their growth potential by saying, "Oh no, you can't do that. You got to stay in this area." You know, you got 65.
But Don, what you're saying is, let's go back to what you started. What you're saying now, you're right. They this is what we do with all our businesses in the state. We change the rules. Look, I wasn't a big gambling guy. Me and you've talked about that before. But quit telling us that gaming ain't gambling. That was the biggest joke. Number two, Don, they getting ready to expand gambling. You agree they should. Fine. You being honest with me. I appreciate it. But quit getting up there and going, this is not expansion of gambling. We are just trying to, come on. Don't you agree they need to quit that bunch of bunk? Why don't they just man up and say, hey, we're behind Oklahoma, we want to man up. At least you honest about what you think. They're not. They don't. They just run around.
What they're doing.
Huh?
They're just, you know, you don't expect a politician to tell you the truth, do you?
No, but Don, I don't know. Barrow Peacock. Never mind. That's another story.
Don't go there. He's such a disappointment. You know, you bring up Silver Spoon, and you just kind of like make my blood pressure go up another couple of notches there. And I think I may have mentioned when he was running the first time, that old Silver Spoon has never had a job in his life.
I remember.
All he's ever done was manage the family money.
Actually,
now he's down there managing your money and really not protecting you because he's in whose hip pocket? What's that guy's name? Ilario?
John Ilario. No, John Ilario. All he got to do is go, and peacocks will come and running. No doubt about it. Silver Spoon, I love that.
The puppy. Don't you? Yeah, come on, Bear. Go with me on that. Okay. You know, geez. Why did you bring that up?
Yeah.
So back to the gaming.
But
yes, it's gaming. It's politically correct. It's gambling. We all know it's gambling. They just don't want to say that.
But Don, right now, if you
going down, yes.
But if
they're losing it to Texas and Oklahoma.
But right now, I just wish the lawmakers would man up and say, okay, we want to expand gambling. Say it up front. But get up there, and I'm telling you, we don't.
They want to expand it. They need to not only expand it, they need to almost embrace it and take some shackles off of them. They have all these clauses in there. You must do business with a minority contractor. How difficult is it to find a minority contractor? Very. There's very few minority businesses that specialize in taking and selling gaming supplies. So now you're saying, you have to deal with a minority contractor. Well, guess what? In my area, which is in the Shreveport-Bossier area, and the boats have to deal with a minority contractor, it's a contractor whose business is owned by, of all people, Senator Greg Tarver's wife.
Yeah.
So who's really making the money? Greg Tarver. What does Greg Tarver do? He pushes down. He goes, well, if you want to expand riverboat gaming and you want to do this and do that, then they have to have more minority purchases. Well, he's just fattening his own pocket because he's the only guy in town that gets minority business. That is a minority business, and it's really not his. It's his wife's. So he's getting fat on both ends as your politician, and then his wife's making the money. That's just shackling the casinos, making them pay more. It's like a penalty on them because what they would do in some instances, they get a bid for something. I saw it firsthand where they got a bid for steel case file cabinets. And instead of a local dealer, that's a steel case dealer, getting that steel case file cabinet order, it went to Greg Tarver's wife's company, or a company like that, we'll say. And they shipped in Han, H-O-N, a Chinese-made cabinet that was flimsy, wasn't able to hold up to the rigors of their daily use that they needed. But they had to accept those cabinets because they didn't want to make waves. And what they did is they turned around and went out and purchased steel case cabinets and threw all those Han cabinets away that they bought from the minority contractor.
Yeah.
Just not right.
No.
They need to take that clause out because all you're doing is shackling your business, making them pay more for a good that they don't need.
Well, Don, I think you touched upon everything, but I like this. And I always said I didn't think we should ever go to gambling to do what we're going to do, but at least you're honest about it. And that means you've probably been eliminated. You've been eliminated from running from office.
Yeah, trying to make it an industry that's going to support the state is not going to work.
No.
This state, let's face it, we are an agricultural, petroleum-based state, and that's what they should concentrate on and do something with that. But no. All right, I'll let you go.
All right, thanks, Don. Appreciate the call. One thing about Don, he ain't never been scared to tell you what he thinks. Silver Spoon. You know, he used to call Peacock that. And I said, Don, you're being kind of tough on it. He said, no, he is a silver spoon. Born with a silver spoon. All he did manage, Don would get on him hard. All right. 844-766-6607. We have, hold up just a second. Dale in Alexandria. How you doing, Dale?
Pretty good, and you, Moon?
I am doing superb. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you about, you hadn't talked about it, but you got a fishing spot down there in your area you can bring the kids to and walk the bank?
Yep.
And I can't remember the name
Shepherd's Lake. Shepherd's Lake. It's in Maurice, Louisiana, off of Highway 343. Mr. Chris Como, he does a great job. And my suggestion, I had a buddy of mine just joined, went out there with his kids, and really, really, boy, they had a great day. Their first day they went fishing. Yeah, you can actually, there's a lake in the back, and I'm going to talk about money and billing and all that, but there's a lake in the back that you can drop a boat in, but the lake's in the front. You literally, there's when you get to Shepherd's, there's wagons, you can put your rods, all your tackle box, you can put all that stuff in there and walk around the lake, and it's really a cool deal. Shepherd's Lake.
Well, that's what I needed to know.
All right, bud. Thank you very much. All right, when we get back, we have Ann Coulter, who's coming to Louisiana. We'll visit with Ann right after this. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. We're going to jump gears. Of course, Miss Ann Coulter joins us. And, of course, y'all all know Miss Ann because she's been all over the place. I can promise you. Political commentator, author, syndicated columnist, lawyer, Donald Trump supporter, anti-Donald Trump supporter. How you doing, Miss Coulter?
Fine, thank you. I just want Trump to be a Trump supporter.
Hey, I love. No, I did want to get talk to you about that. I know you're original Trump supporter, and now you wrote an article you're really upset with him, disappointed, not on the Trump bandwagon anymore. And by the way, I understand that, but is he kind of tied up a little bit by these wimp Republicans? Because God have mercy, the Congress and the House and the Senate are so weak.
Yes, well, I discovered that when Trump was running for president. I've been a lifelong Republican. And one of the wonderful things the amazing Trump campaign accomplished was really exposing at least these modern Republicans in Congress now. It's all about their donors. It's all about getting the Koch brothers and the meat packers, the farmers, their cheap labor, and they don't care what happens to the country. They don't care about what happens to their fellow Americans. So hating the other Republicans, mission accomplished. That was done as of the end of the campaign. And by the way, I think it's worth mentioning that in this heinous omnibus bill that purports to actively prevent President Trump from building any part of his wall.
Well, by the way, when you
prohibits the prototype, says that he can only repaint some rickety fences on 33 miles of the border as a caravan of Central Americans march on our border. Why do we have a military moon? What is the point? Could we get a few troops back from Afghanistan to defend our borders? But it's worth saying that this heinous omnibus bill that Trump signed, totally betraying his voters, it was opposed and voted against by Tom Cotton from Arkansas, by David Perdue, Georgia, Ron Johnson, Minnesota, Rand Paul, of course, basically on spending grounds. So
by the way, both senators in Louisiana voted against it. John Kennedy and Bill Cassidy.
I am so happy I'm coming to Louisiana. See, okay, there's a state I can trust. So we have some potential primary candidates against Trump in 2020, because if he doesn't build the wall, and he doesn't seem like he has any intention of doing so, I mean, I've been writing about this since basically a week after November 8th, describing how the establishment, the Democrats and the media would try to get Trump to break his promises, and that's all they've wanted him to do. You may remember, and for the youngsters listening, look up the first George Bush and how he promised, read my lips, no new taxes. And I mean, I've written about that a lot. I went back and looked at the Nexus files because I kind of remembered it at the time. The New York Times editorial page, news pages, pushing him. Oh, do the responsible thing. You'll be politically popular if you just raise taxes. As soon as he raised taxes, the Democratic Party and the New York Times went wild about how he had forfeited the Republican Party's most potent weapon. He had broken his pledge. He was taunted for it. People voted for Bill Clinton over the first George Bush on the grounds that they wanted their taxes cut.
But Ann, let me ask you a quick question.
What promise do you think they want Trump to violate? The one he made at every single campaign rally, every single day for 18 months.
By the way,
he's commander-in-chief. He can build the wall. He could have started it the day after his inauguration.
Well, by the way, I think a lot like you, Ann Coulter is joining us. Miss Ann, but here's the deal. Can he come back from this? Do you think he has any chance?
He builds the wall, but not by tweeting. We want action, not tweets. It's not called the Great Tweet of China.
No, by the way, I agree with that. But let me ask you a question. And a lot of people, and I heard Limbaugh and some other people say this whole bill was to bury Trump. And I don't know if that's not true, but one of the things I'm curious about, they kept saying he can work with the military because this is not a standard budget. Can he go
Ann's been saying this forever.
Can they go to the military and say, hey, we're taking $75 billion up and we're building a wall, and Mattis goes, hey,
yes!
Well, they ought to do that.
Yes.
If he does that now, then he would win.
Telling him directly, I've been putting it in columns since before he was elected. That was what was so great about Trump's campaign promises. All of them, not only his central campaign promise, without which he would not be president, to build a wall, all the stuff he was talking about, renegotiating NAFTA, not signing Trans-Pacific Partnership, allowing ICE to do its job, deporting illegals, overturning Obama's executive order on Dreamers, and absolutely 100% building wall. It is all exclusively within the power of the president. The only promise he made that he needs Congress for was to overturn Obamacare. Yeah. Thanks, Congress. Everything else is 100%. He is the commander-in-chief. The Constitution makes him the commander-in-chief. His job under the Constitution is to defend the borders. It is not to be building fences, as the omnibus bill requires, building fences in Egypt, in Syria, in Afghanistan. No, it is to protect our borders. Oh, good grief. How can anyone who is president not know this, besides the fact that I've been saying it forever?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ann Coulter, my special guest, and she's written so many columns and books and things of that nature. Hey, Ann, what about, I know you're doing this thing with Breitbart on free speech.
Yes.
Are we concerned? I am, big time, and because of not only what I do for a living, but really way beyond that, people having free speech. Example, you think, I say this all the time, I believe in traditional marriage. I believe in one man and one woman. I think that's how God intended. You think I'm going to be able to say that one day? You think I'm going to be able to say that climate change and man-made global warming, what a hoax, what a joke? You think one day I will not be able to say that?
It is stunning what has become hate speech and that can get you banned from Twitter or Facebook. What is it? Google is going to go in, or Apple is going to go in and read your messages now. Wow. No, this has been, the world has really changed with the advent of the Internet. The left has all of our cultural institutions, most clearly the mainstream media, and it is driving them crazy that we can get the truth through alternative media sites. So no, I've been terrified of this for some time. That is absolutely what the left wants, what the Democrats want, more than anything else, even more than continuing our endless dump of third world immigrants on the country. They've got to shut us up. Yeah. And by the way, that hate speech you just gave as an example, supporting traditional marriage, that what is now hate speech, bannable, and probably worthy of prison soon. That was Barack Obama's position circa 2009.
I believe
a few years later, bam, hate speech. But you look at what's happening in Western Europe. It's really stunning. They will allow these Pakistani Muslim rape gangs in Rotherham to run wild, raping, grooming, as they say it, thousands of little British girls. That they turn a blind eye to because they don't want to be politically incorrect. But if you criticize Muslims, whoa, the police will be at your door, and they are literally putting people in prison. Wow. For the hate speech, mostly against Muslims. There's one, my favorite one last week. I assume you saw this because it is hilarious. Some guy in England, to annoy his girlfriend, taught her pug to do a Nazi salute. I'd love to see this pug. Anyway, he's in prison now, Moon.
Oh, prison. Oh my God. Well, one of the things,
pranking his girlfriend.
I don't have but a few seconds left. But just like this David Hogg fella, they let him go out, say anything, making him a hero against the Second Amendment. Try to criticize him or say one thing against what he's doing, and all of a sudden they'll beat you to death. That's what I mean by stopping free speech. This guy can say what he wants to, but nobody better criticize him. Well, he stuck his nose out there now.
No, that's right. I wrote about it in Godless with the Jersey Gals, I guess they call themselves, one of the first iterations of liberals sending out victims to make their arguments for them so that no one can respond. Yep. Well, no, okay, if you want to make your argument, whether it's, against the Iraq War or for a 9/11 Commission or against the Second Amendment, send out, Chuck Todd to make the argument, or let Chuck Schumer make the argument. Don't send out a victim whom you're then going to cry and weep if we criticize him.
Ann, I got to go. Ann Coulter. Hey, Ann, let's do it again. God bless, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Good to talk to you, Moon. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ann, thank you. Yeah, let us find somebody who can speak as well as I do. Well, that would not be hard when she says hi to the butler. Says hi to the guy. The bellhop would be better. All right, folks. God bless. See you tomorrow.